Good morning, everybody. It is a Tuesday morning. I am just picked up a load over in Panama City at Sam's Club. Trailer full of pallets. Now I'm heading over to Albany to drop them off just to start the day off. I hope everybody had a good Christmas, and hope y'all have a good day today. I said this video is going to be about the driver academy, the Swift Driver Academy. I did mine over in Memphis, Tennessee. So let's talk about that. Just hop straight into it. So if you watched my last video, you know that I applied Thursday night and they got straight back to me Friday morning, Friday afternoon, something like that.
Right curve ahead.
What is this dude doing? So they got back to me about Friday, and I started Monday. And when I say I started Monday, they had a let me pass this guy. They had this so when I started Monday, they had a driver, or it's like 160 Driver Academy, and it's an online virtual class that you have to log into every day for the whole week. Basically, it's like 40 hours long or something like that, and it's like 7 to 3:30 or something around there. I forget the exact time it was, but basically like a regular day job, you know. You just sit there all day long getting your butt ready for you know, sitting while you're driving. So basically that does so I started that Monday, and what that did was that they gave you basically all the information you needed to go get your permit for your CDL. So your air brakes and all of that stuff. So I know some people do that at the school itself, and then you can do it virtually online through the Driver 160 Academy. So that's what I did. And by the Thursday, I think it was Thursday, so at the end of that course, near the end of that course, that Thursday, I went up to take my CDL permit test to get my CDL permit. Now, after I got my CDL permit, which I passed it on the first try, I got my CDL permit. It's pretty easy. I think you had to take like an air brakes test, your CDL test, not a combinations test, but it was at the same time. It wasn't like a doubles test, but it was like a combination vehicle, so the vehicle with the trailer kind of test. So after all that, and I passed it, came back Friday, and they didn't really do too much. They were reviewing some of the stuff for the people who failed and stuff like that, and just talking about what we're gonna need for the class and everything. So after that, they sent me the stuff I needed, and when I say that, they emailed me like what I needed to bring, and I think I had to have like pants and all this other stuff to go to the school or out to the yard. So I had to get all that stuff. After that, after I packed my bags and everything, now some people were saying that you could, if you talk to the recruiter, some of the recruiters would have reimbursed you for the fuel to drive over there, because I went to Memphis, Tennessee, and I live in Florida, and it was like a 6-hour drive. But they didn't tell me that. So I took a Greyhound bus, which was a 24-hour ride. You know, saw a lady get robbed and all this other fun stuff. This, you know, this guy was walking around just chanting, yelling. He was sitting at the bus station. This was in Tallahassee. No, I think it was in Tallahassee. It was either in Tallahassee or like Jackson. It's some if it ain't Tallahassee, it's something right right west of Tallahassee, another city right on I-10. I'm pretty sure it's just Tallahassee though. So anyway, saw somebody get robbed up there. You know, it was a 24-hour bus ride, so a lady about got kicked off for not wearing a mask up there on the bus. And she flicked the guy off when he told her to put the mask back on. That was entertaining. He was gonna call the cops on her and leave her right there, but he didn't. Everybody on the bus was telling him to come on, let's go. Yeah, it was not fun. Then we were late. Because of that, we were late, so we had to get a whole nother bus to come pick us up, and that extended it to like an extra 4 hours. Anyway, I finally get to Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm like, I'm never doing that again. I am not riding the dang bus again. I will drive, I will rent a car, I will fly. I'm not riding a bus again. That was just horrible. Anyway, I get to where I'm going, get to Memphis, Tennessee. They have a little shuttle for you to call from the hotel that they use, so I call the shuttle. They come and pick me up and take me to the hotel, or the hotel, which is like pretty dang close to the Greyhound terminal. So I do that, and then I get checked in. You know, I meet a couple people there, you know, not too many, we're talking. But mostly I just got checked in the room and stuff. I think it was like Sunday afternoon. So there wasn't too much time to do anything. And I was like real tight on money because, you know, I wasn't getting paid. You don't get paid for doing the driver academy, right? So anyway, so I was like real cheap, and I'll tell you how I saved some money. Anyway, got checked in and everything. So it was like Monday morning. The shuttle started leaving at like 6 in the morning, and the Memphis terminal isn't too far away. So it was like kind of a lot of people had bad experiences with the hotel. Luckily I had a decent room, so I didn't have any experiences. We ended up changing hotels at the end, so when you guys go, you'll probably get the other hotel, which is a lot nicer. But anyway, so the shuttles left at like 6 in the morning, so we got up there. Oh, and they had continental breakfast, and you know, continental breakfast, all you did was grab a Jimmy Dean breakfast sausage biscuit in a paper bag with a drink, with the water, and one of those Nutri-Grain bars. So you grab the bag full of that, put it in your bag, and you left on your way. And I would save that and eat that for lunch. That way I'd save money, and then I would eat lunch and dinner, but I would eat the biscuit for lunch, because you stayed out there at the classroom from like 6 to 3 something, 4 o'clock. So the first couple days was just getting paperwork done. You know, what kind of mentor do you want to have and stuff like that, like whether he smokes, female, male, stuff like that. Or if you knew somebody, you put his reference code down or whatever. So anyway, so after that, I think it was like day number 2. They did some like stuff in the classroom there, but not too much. It was mainly paperwork. Oh, I think we went to go get drug tested again, because I forgot to tell you all that. Before I went to Memphis, you have to go get your medical DOT card or whatever, and they're supposed to clear you for like 2 years. I think the max is 2 years. And they just do a drug test, and that's about it, and ask you a whole bunch of questions. Anyway, after you get to Memphis, they had to do it again. Don't go out of your way to go find somebody to do that for you. You need to let Swift tell you where to go, because I had a couple people in there be like, oh, I already paid so much money to get this stuff done, but they still require the drug test and stuff like that. So make sure you listen to Swift, because Swift will pay for all that. So just go wherever Swift sends you. Like I said, I got my stuff done pretty quick. You'll probably have to take a day off of the school to go do it, or a couple hours off the school to go do it. Mine was like an hour away from me in Alabama. So anyway, so after all that, then we went out to the yard and just straight into driving. I think we did a little bit of pre-trip, but we started backing up. You know, we only got 2 weeks. You know, we had to master just about everything in those 2 weeks. So we got to know the people, and then the same day we went out there and started driving. And we were in different groups. I think we had a group of 4, and to this day we still talk. 2 of them, they're leasing for Western Express, and my other buddy, he's still with Swift, and I'm with Swift. So yeah. Anyway, we still talk to this day. I think I talked to just about all of them yesterday. You know, being on the road, you talk to a lot of people and you keep up with all your friends and stuff like that. But anyway, you get in the group of 4 and you go out there, and then you start backing. I think the first thing they got us to do was a straight back, and you know, one person did a straight back, then he jumped out of the truck, the other guy got into the straight back, he jumped out of the truck, the other guy got in the truck, did a straight back, and it went on like that, just a repeating process. After everybody got the straight back down, right, because if you can't do straight back, you can't do anything else. And believe it or not, there was some people, none of our group struggled. We actually was probably one of the best groups out there at the time, because we didn't have a lot of problems. Now, a lot of other people, they were struggling. Some people were struggling really bad with that straight back. They just could not do it. They eventually got it, but a lot of people were really struggling with that, which is crazy to me, but you know. Anyway, after they did the straight back, then we did the offset, and you know, they just kept rotating and rotating and rotating and rotating and rotating. After we did the offset, I think when everybody got the offset, they started taking us out driving, and we had to make sure that like we were registered like on the internet for it. Like there was like some kind of DOT qualification or whatever. We just had to make sure that we were qualified or whatever on the internet, and we had to fill out a whole bunch of forms and stuff to be able to start driving. So after all the drug tests came back and after we got qualified, we started driving. And it was you know, you got your student in the passenger driver's seat, then you got your mentor, your trainer, your mentor in the right seat. Not your mentor you got on the road with, but the trainer for the class. And then you got 3 guys in the back seat. So or it might have been 2 guys in the back seat because of COVID. So anyway, they would drive around, we would come back to the terminal, or they would swap out halfway through and then they would drive around and then they would come back. Mind you, this is like the first time out. Everybody did pretty good. Besides, you know, they don't want you to run a yellow light at all. You will fail the test if you run a yellow light, from what I remember, which is insane. So like, you got to be cross that line before it turns yellow, or else that's it. And there was some fast lights. Like, I remember this one light, it turned green, and I was right behind the first car. By the time that first car was in the middle of the intersection, it turned yellow, and I had to stop. And that was just, it was just ridiculous. But anyway, so after we started driving around and everything, you know, we came back, and you know, outside of the school, we would hang out in the classroom or at the hotel. We would go out to eat. Some of them drove. One of the guys drove. The other guy had somebody bring his truck to him, and you know, we would go out to eat. We had a good time over there. There was like a really good hibachi place that we went to go eat at. You know, we had a good time. You know, they had a motorcycle or bike week that week. You know, it was fun. You know, we had a good time. Of course, you know, I was broke as heck. A lot of people were. I know we pitched in for one of the guys because he was broke. We pitched in for his food. You know, because we didn't want him to feel left out, because we were kind of like, you know, in a group, and we were doing really good together. You know, we would go over pre-trips. I think we even had a little study group going over pre-trips in the motel, or in the hotel itself. They ordered a whole bunch of wings, and we would sit down there with the other groups and talk about the pre-trips and stuff. And you just gotta, like, don't get overwhelmed on your pre-trips. You know, you just gotta study and study. The best thing you can do, you know, don't get overwhelmed in it. Just read everything real quick. You know, it's like, you might not understand some of the things, but like, you'll start remembering the words more and more and more and more. And then when you guys get out in the classroom, you know, y'all will have a little bit of free time while they're taking other people driving, and you can test your buddy on the knowledge on the pre-trips and everything, and go over each one extensively. You know, just keep going over them. And I think we went over it about once a day. We didn't really start going over until the third week. You know, first week being the virtual academy, and then, you know, so the third week, which is the last week, so we didn't start going over until that week. So at the last week, you know, we also were doing our 90s, our 90-degree backs and stuff like that. A lot of people were struggling with that as well, but it was the same people that were struggling with the straight backs. Most of our group got it. You know, we might have to pull up a couple times, but it wasn't like anything like terrible. So yeah, but then we started doing like the straight back, the offset, and the 90 all at one turn. So it was like, you know, you were standing there and it was taking a while, but you know, it was back to back to back, and then you swapped out and you did all of yours, and then, you know, they swapped out, did all of theirs, and then it was like, okay, well, if you need to do just one, you know, you can. And so a lot of us just, you know, started doing the 90s because we had the offset handled, and we had the offset handled, and we had the whatchamacallit, the straight back. So we just did the 90, just went around and did the 90 over and over again until we had it perfect. And yeah, so after that, so let's see, what else am I missing? It's the last week. You know, we're going over pre-trips. We, you know, we're practicing backing up, we're doing our driving and stuff like that, and making sure we know where to go, where to, you know, what, you know, just all the stuff, you know what I mean, about the traffic lights. You know, you got a little hand over there counting down. As soon as that timer goes down, it's gonna turn yellow. So, you know, you gotta pay attention to all that stuff. Make sure you're not running a yellow light. So by the end of that, it came to testing. So here's the last of it, unless I remember something else. So at the end of all of that class, it came to testing. This time I done got my wife to come up there because I wasn't about to ride the Greyhound bus back down. So so like I said, this time it comes to testing, and they test two people. I don't know if I think they test 2 people at a time. They might not. I don't rightly remember that part too much. I know they test at least, I know one person gets like an hour and a half or something like that, or 2 hours to test. You get like an hour for your pre-trip and then an hour for everything else and stuff, and it's not bad. I know with the pre-trip thing, when it comes to testing over at the Swift Driver Academy in Memphis, it was like, you know, it randomly selected. You got A, which is like from the front of your vehicle to your mirrors, so all your engine and stuff. And then you got B, which is, you know, everything in the cab of your truck and outside your cab all the way to the back of your truck, not the trailer, just of your truck. Then you got C, which is from your connections to your truck, like just the connections to where it hooks up to the trailer, all the way back to the back of the trailer. So, and then you got D, which is everything. Well, I had D. I passed. I don't think anybody failed the pre-trip. Yeah, I don't think anybody failed the pre-trip. So we passed that, and then it came to the backing. I passed that on my first try. Let's see. I passed that on my first try. Then it came to some people did not pass that on their first try, and some of it was like really crazy. So I'll tell y'all some of that. One of the guys, you're supposed to like back up, and then like you got like 2 get outs or something like that. And so anyway, this guy, he did all of his stuff right. He even did his 90. And when he did his 90, he beeped his horn saying he was done and it was going to be tested, like that's final. And when he did his 90, he was like an inch or 2 inches away from the back of his bumper being in the box in order to pass. So he just wasn't back far enough, and so he had to retake that. And if you fail the driving, you can't go. I mean, if you fail the backing, you can't go driving. So you have to, you know, you have to retake, you know, whatever one you left off on. So if you fail the pre-trip, you can't go drive the rest of it. You can't do anything else. And then there was this other guy that failed the straight back. He beeped the horn before he did something, and it was stupid. Like, it was like really stupid. Either he was supposed to pull back up and he didn't remember, or he backed all the way up in the wrong spot. Like he straight back, no problem, but where he beeped the horn at was the problem. I guess it's about, you know, following instructions and stuff like that, which I can understand. So after all that, then it came to the driving part. A lot of people, some people passed the driving on the first try, some people didn't. Like I said, you know, you couldn't run a yellow light at all, and I was doing so good until I got to this one spot, and it's kind of like 2 spots that look like it, and there's a spot like it looks almost similar to me, and it has 2 turning lanes, and then this spot only had 1 turning lane. So I was in the left lane with my turn signal on, and it wasn't until I got to it when I realized, oh man, this isn't, you know what I mean, this is too late. This is not a turning lane, and there's not real clear signs on it, and the road ain't painted, so it's like, you know, one of those things. So I failed because of that. The other guy, the tester, he had to take over, and I had to stay a couple more extra days because of it, so I could reschedule the test in, which really sucked. Some people even had to stay another extra weekend just to test out of there. Anyway, I came back to do my test again, and I passed. All my buddies, they passed, they went home. I think only one of my other buddies failed. I forgot what it was though that he failed, but anyway, he ended up passing again his second try. Some other people, they were failing on their second try, and so then it's like, then there was this one lady that everybody swear was gonna fail. Like she was struggling through all of it. Everybody was like, oh yeah, she's there's no way she's gonna make this. And she passed on the first try. You know, everybody was just dumbfounded, you know. But anyway, so we got all the testing done and everything, and then for some people it was different. I already knew who I wanted to be my mentor because my buddy Ben, y'all know Benny drives, I used his mentor, and had me driving over through Las Vegas. If anybody gets that New Vegas reference, let me know in the comments. I was driving in Las Vegas and Arizona and all over there on the west. And anyway, but after we passed the test, I came home. We all went home, and by that time I was about tired of Jimmy Dean's sausage biscuits. So got some good food. My wife made me some good food, and so like I said, some people didn't know who their mentors were. I knew who mine was, so it worked out perfectly. And I think the day I went out with my mentor, like we left early in the morning because we went to Ocala, and that's about 4 hours away from me. So I was just feeling like absolute garbage. Like I did not feel good at all, and I knew it was like you know, gas built up and stuff like that, because I felt like I wanted to throw up, but like I didn't, and my stomach hurt, and you know, all that fun stuff. And the whole time I was with my mentor, I was sick as a dog. It was horrible. Some nights I couldn't even sleep. So I had, you know, a great experience with that. But I toughed through it, and me and my mentor, we knocked it out. I mean, I was driving every bit of my 11 hours, and we knocked it out. I didn't have no problems. But it only took like 2 days, 3 days before I went out with my mentor. I know some of my buddies, they were going out like when I was like in my second week with my mentor, and I was just like, dang, you know, it's taking y'all a long time to go out. And let's see, and then there was one of my buddies who's now leasing. He was going home every weekend, you know, and I was running recaps. And so, you know, I finished before everybody. Like I finished way before everybody, because me and my mentor, we were hard at it. You know, we were doing team driving and everything, and yeah, it was just, you know, when I was running out of time, I'd pull over, and my mentor would take over, and you know, vice versa. I mean, we did not stop. And when we did, you know, we were thankful, you know, to take a 34, because we were tired, wore out. You know, it was a much needed 34, I'll tell you that, because it's something to get used to. You know, sleeping in the back of a truck, and I get motion sickness, so it's like, you know, when I'm in something like that, I get like a real bad headache and stuff, and dizzy. Luckily, it didn't affect me too much. And I think it was just because, like, yes, the truck moves a lot, but it doesn't throw you around like a car does, if that makes sense. Of course, if you're laying in the back of the seat and you're driving through Salt Lake City, you know, there's a couple good bumps over there. You know, you raise about 2 inches off the bed while you're driving through there, so that's always fun. But yeah, that's about how it is. And then after that, I went back to my terminal, and we took a test. I know some people had to do a backing test. Mine was just a written test. And then upgraded. Grabbed my mattress for my truck, hit it out. The first thing I did was went back on my home time, which took me like 2 days to get over there. So then I went on my home time, stayed home for a little while, packed my truck up, and then left back out, and yeah, and that was that. Anyway, like I said, this is just gonna be like a short little video for y'all about the Swift Driving Academy. I'm gonna keep putting these videos out and stuff in it and stuff like that. I was debating on if I just wanted to do a full day video, but I don't know. Anyway, if this is the only video I upload, y'all have a good day, and I hope y'all enjoyed. If you guys want to know anything else about the Academy, just let me know. If I missed something, which I probably did, just let me know in the comments, and I'll try to touch up on it on the next video. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed, and y'all have a good day.